While it's always thrilling to watch Demon Slayer hero Tanjiro Kamado take the fight to lesser demons to save the day, the real fun begins when Tanjiro and other Demon Slayers go up against the 12 demon moons. Rui and Unmoon made a powerful impression of the lower moons before Muzan wiped out that part of the moons. And now fans are fixated on the elite upper moons. The upper moons are the most elite and loyal demons serving Muzan, the greatest threat to the Demon Slayer cores and Muzan's best hope of finding the blue spider lily. Ever since the Mugen Train arc, the heroes have been clashing with the upper moons, often with fatal results, and the war against them has kept heating up ever since. By this point, it's essential for Demon Slayer fans to be totally familiar with all 9 members of the upper moons, past and present, and appreciate how their powers and tactics shape the entire story of this shonen series. Keigaku, the recently appointed Upper Moon 6, is one of 2 Demon Slayer characters who transferred their sword training into their demon life to blur the line between slayers and monsters. Kagaku is by far the weaker of the 2 characters to do this, but it's no reason to take him lightly. He may be the weakest demon to ever join the Upper Moons and lost his duel with Zenitsu in the Infinity Castle arc, but that's only because Kagaku was still growing into his role as a demon. It was speculated that after another year of building up his demonic strength, Kagaku would have been too strong for Zenitsu to defeat. In battle, Kaigaku combines his prior training with thunder breathing with his superhuman speed and power to fight in a wholly different way than most demons do. Kagaku has mastered all but the first form of thunder breathing, allowing him to combine 5 forms with his strength to annihilate almost anyone he faces in battle. He also has the lightning-quick reflexes typical of thunder breathing, since users of this fighting style focus on speed more than anything else. Daki is unusual among the 12 demon moons in a few ways, including the fact she wasn't 100% officially a member of that group. Technically, it was Daki's brother who was the Upper Moon 6, but Daki shared that rank with him as part of an inseparable duo, and as Demon Slayer fans saw, Daki's combat prowess is worthy of the Upper Moons. Daki is also unusual in that she regularly interacts with humans, rather than skulking around in the shadows. In battle, Daki is a fearsome medium-range fighter with her extendable obi sash, one with sharp, razor-like edges for slashing attacks. Daki can strike from many angles at once, with that weapon to break through anyone's defenses, and most of all, decapitation isn't the end. Daki can survive her headless state so long as Gyutaro lives, and vice versa, making it terribly difficult to defeat Daki for good. Even when headless, Daki can still fight, albeit in a more awkward fashion. Gyutaro was acknowledged as the true Upper Moon 6 by his master, Muzan Kibutsuji, the Demon King, even if he doesn't always take part in battles. It seems Daki is always the first to fight if it comes to that. And Gyutaro will only emerge from his sister's body if necessary, such as when facing a Hashira like Tengen Uzui. Gyutaro is highly motivated in any fight, not to impress Muzan or hunt prey, but to protect his little sister, making him a dark reflection of Tanjiro himself. Gyutaro is a vicious opponent, using his blood sides to both slash and poison his opponents. Even Tengen, who is trained to resist poisons as a shinobi, is vulnerable to these attacks, and it took Nezuko's purifying fire to spare Tengen a grisly fate at Gyutaro's hands. Like his sister, Gyutaro can survive decapitation so long as the other partner has their head on, making killing Gyutaro all but impossible. What is more, Gyutaro can strengthen his bond with Daki by implanting an eye in her forehead, boosting Daki's power while also allowing the brother and sister to share senses and thus coordinate their efforts that much more. It's true Gyako was a bit of a letdown as the Upper Moon 5, but he still proved himself a deadly demon who deserved his place among the Upper Moons. Unlike most of the moons, Gyako has a clearly established animal theme similar to Rui's own spider theme. Gyako is the master of the oceans and aquatic life, mostly in terms of fish and octopus. He is also the sole artisan among the moons, making and selling exquisite vases with nautical designs on them, much to Muzan's pleasure. Gakko is something of a spellcaster in battle, focusing almost entirely on demon blood arts rather than melee attacks to fight his foes. That was made clear when he summoned needle-spitting giant fish and destructive octopus tentacles to assault the swordsmith village, not to mention his attempt to drown Michiro Tokido in a water trap. If pushed, Gakko can assume his final form, Frieza style, to finally fight his enemy up close and personal with his diamond-hard fish scales and sharp claws. However, that power was no match for a combination of misbreathing and the Demon Slayer mark. Hantengu's dominant emotion is clearly fear, with him being driven to terrified tears around both humans and demons, but that doesn't make him a pushover. As the Upper Moon 4, Hantengu commands overwhelming power in any fight, and like Daki and Gyutaro, Hantengu has special countermeasures for decapitation. Hantengu helps make it clear the Upper Moons know all about their race's natural weaknesses and will do anything to protect against it. Hantengu has even more insurance against decapitation than Daki and Gyutaro, since Hantengu will split himself into several bodies at once, while his true body is tiny and hides so no one can take its head off. Thus, Hantengu can fight even multiple elite demon slayers with no fear of their counterattacks, and it was a minor miracle Tanjiro was able to overcome all this. Like Gyakko, Hantengu is a spellcaster of sorts in Demon Slayer, with his clones using powers like sonic screams, wind blasts, electric storms, and even tree manipulation to fight like a one-man squad. This also makes Hantengu more flexible than most moons, so he can handle any breathing style wielded by any Hashira. Like Keigaku, Nakimi is a recent inductee to the Upper Moons, and she only demonstrated her Upper Moon-worthy power in a single arc, in this case, the Infinity Castle arc. Until then, Nakimi provided logistical support for Muzan's minions, using her biwa to teleport the demons in and out of Muzan's lair with ease. Nakimi is also the one who can open doors to the Infinity Castle to trap demon slayers inside, as seen at the end of Season 4. Finally, Nakim's countless spying eyeballs help Muzan get the edge over his foes in terms of intelligence, proving that even demons need more than brute strength to win this war. In battle, Nakimi is largely defensive, using her biwa and unique arts to merely reshape the Infinity Castle's walls and floors around her to keep her enemies at bay. This is effective even when fighting two Hashira at once, such as Mitsuri and Obane, who can't easily reach Nakimi with their blades. If she must, Nakimi can reshape the terrain around her to try and crush her foes with fast-moving pillars, or attempt to make someone fall to their death. The Upper Moon 3, Akaza, is one of the most refreshingly straightforward of all the demons as a devoted martial artist. As Demon Slayer fans saw in his flashback sequence, Akaza has always been a gifted fighter, especially after training at a dojo, and now he can blend that extreme skill with demonic strength. Akaza is also the type to enjoy a proper challenge from a worthy rival, while most other Upper Moons either look down on their foes as weaklings or fight for mere survival. In battle, Akaza forgoes all weapons and uses his fists, overwhelming any opponent with a rapid flurry of blows. That alone makes him dangerous, but when Akaza uses Compass Needle, he's truly fearsome. As Tanjiro noticed during his fight with Akaza, the Upper Moon 3's fists almost seem magnetized to his foe's vital points thanks to Compass Needle. That same technique allows Akaza to break through any defensive posture and adapt to any fighting style, marking Akaza as a born warrior. And like a few other demons, Akaza overcame his kind's weakness to decapitation, with his headless body still able to fight, much to Jiyu's shock. Doma is the Upper Moon 2, and sure enough, he is an astonishingly powerful demon who can casually defeat most Hashira in a duel. Fans may also note how Doma is the obligatory joker of the group, with most villain groups having at least one silly or casual member to contrast with everyone else. In fact, this outwardly goofy personality irks Akaza a great deal as a part of their rivalry with one another. However, Doma has no true emotions, so he's not acting out of a proper desire to make everyone laugh. Doma is a true powerhouse in a fight, having infinite stamina and strength to outlast even multiple waves of foes. Doma also has some of the most impressive regeneration of any demon, able to restore his head in seconds and break down Shinobu's most potent poisons without much effort. On offense, Doma puts even Akaza to shame with his melee attacks, wielding his metal fans as superior weapons against any Nichiren blade. Finally, Doma's cryogenesis envelops the whole battlefield in ice to trap his foes, and he can make the air cold enough so breathing is painful and harmful. If Hashira can't even fully breathe, then their breathing styles are weakened, giving Doma an even greater advantage. Kokushibo is the other upper moon to blend swordsmanship with demonic powers, and is by far the stronger of the two. While Keigaku barely justified his place as the new Upper Moon 6, Kokushibo 100% deserves his lofty spot as the Upper Moon 1. Kokushibo uses moon breathing, an eerie blend of demonic strength and swordsmanship that makes him nigh unbeatable in a fight. Kokushibo also has a stern, serious personality to keep him focused on what he's doing, while the likes of Goyako and Doma have a habit of toying with their enemies. Kokushibo's swordsmanship is in a league of its own, with him able to slice off body parts from Hashira using their Demon Slayer mark, which is saying a lot. Fans can also say Kokushibo combines the best of both the Demon Slayer cores and Demonkind, making him a meta fighter who can do anything as the ultimate warrior. Kokushibo can use not just moon breathing, but also the Demon Slayer mark and transparent world, allowing him to counter even the best tools any Hashira can bring to a fight against him. And of course, Kokushibo's own demonic forms and powers mean he can take on several Hashira-caliber foes at once and stand a good chance of winning, with the same being true for his master Muzan. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video brought you some value today. If you love the world of Demon Slayer, please hit that subscribe button to support the channel. Keep the fire burning in your heart. Until next time. Goodbye.